Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. On today's video we are going to be learning how to make this corset dress. If that's something you're interested in, come with me and let's get started. Also, do not forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment down below. Thank you. Here I'm going to be using a chiffon fabric to achieve what I need to achieve. You could go ahead and use any kind of fabric for yours. I already went ahead to transfer my pattern onto my piece, my fabric, and I went ahead to cut it into four. So I have main piece and lining piece from the same fabric. I also went ahead to iron my hairstay, and here I'm just showing you that I cut strips to serve as the boning casing for this, and I also went ahead to notch the parts where the bonings are going to be laid on. Let me use this medium to say that I'm sorry for the lighting. When I realized that the lighting was really bright, like you couldn't see anything, I'll show you just a clip up here. I had to reduce it to this so we can all see kind of and learn from it. So please bear with me, it gets better with time. Okay, so let's go back to the video. Here I already did my casings and I'm just going to place them onto the parts that I notched. For this I'm actually going to be using a line boning, and if you know what a line boning is, it's the kind of boning you can sew on. That's why I made this way, so I can go ahead and sew everything I need to sew with this in place, and then I could go ahead, insert my boning and then sew it down. If you don't understand what I just said, you could keep watching and you'll understand as we go on. So this is me here just arranging the casings as they are supposed to be, after which I'm going to go ahead and show you the next part. So this is the next part. This is the bra cup part, and I went ahead to cut out fabric that we're going to use to cover it up. So here I have a width of 17 and a length of 12. So basically I wanted this to be really wide. Now you can go ahead and gather yours on your bra cup, but I'm just going to make just one gather on this because I didn't want it to have like the same gathers as the other ones. I wanted mine to be a little bit unique, so I went ahead to just fold this one time, just fold, and then I'm just going to go ahead and use my pin to hold it down, and I'll sew at the rim of the bra cup, basically the edge of the bra cup. It's been way too long. If I could lay down beside you, I would. I'm going to go ahead and sew onto this, which I've done, and now I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the excesses. This is what we have for the yoke, the front and the back yoke. So for the front yoke, we're going to cover the side where we cut, which is the part facing towards the inside of you. That is actually separated into two. That what I said before, I did it into four. So we have main piece and lining piece, and that's what we're going to do for the front. Now for the back yoke, we're going to go ahead and sew from the neck all the way down to the back, just like this. Here we have our cup in place, and we're just going to go ahead and place this to see if it will get to the edge. But before we do that, remember the ½ inch that we left when we were drafting the pattern. I'm going to go ahead and mark it all around this part. After we do that, I already did the testing to see if you get to the top, when I add the lining piece. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my lining piece and then cover it up by 1/2 inch. Once you pin it down, still open up the lining piece and see if your cup still gets to the top. If it doesn't get to the top, you can use 1/4 inch to cover both the lining piece and the main piece, so that way it works for you. Here I'm going to go out by 1 inch from the cup area, and I'm going to place my yoke, my front yoke, after the 1 inch measurement that we did. After the 1 inch measurement that we did, I'm just using the pattern paper here because I've not done the actual practical yet, so we're going to do this. After we place that, I'm going to go ahead and sew round like how you see, and then I'll go ahead and put my bra cup onto this and then sew. I'm actually going ahead right now to use my pin to hold it down so you can see like how it's supposed to be when you sew it. This is what it's supposed to look like, and it's not even sewn yet and it looks so neat. So this is what it's supposed to look like when it's sewn, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now. This is everything I showed you, the yoke, the bra cup and everything. I did not show you the inside because I couldn't find the video where I showed how to do this. My phone was so full and I was deleting stuff, and I must have mistakenly deleted that part off, so I'm sorry. I will be showing in another video how to do that properly. So here I told you before that I'm going to be inserting my boning into the boning casing after we're done doing all that. So this is what I'm doing right now. I'm just inserting my boning into the boning casing, and then I'll go ahead and sew. But first, make sure that your boning gets to where it's supposed to get to. And for the bottom part, I'm going to be leaving 1/2 inch because we're going to be adding a gathers part to this, or a skirt part, whatever you decide to add to yours. We're going to have to leave 1/2 inch so your needle doesn't break when you're sewing, because it's going to like get really strong and everything. Of course you can sew on it, but you still need space for your body to relax. This is the back part, and I already have a detailed video of how I did that up on the channel, so please go and check it out. This, I already did the whole boning for the front, and I also went ahead to iron. I did the same for the back, and I went ahead to iron. And I'm just going to go ahead and put both shoulders together. Now this way is like the simplest and neatest way for you to sew your shoulder together. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my pin, and then I'll go ahead and sew by 3/4 inch. This is what we have so far. It's looking really neat. See what I was telling you, your sewing goes inside, so that way you don't have to worry about whether or not your threads are showing. Here we're just going to go ahead and close it by the allowance that we left for it. And at the bottom part here, I'm just going to go up by 1 inch. And the reason why I'm actually going up by 1 inch is because we're going to be adding a skirt part to this, which for me is going to be a gathered skirt. Like I said before, it depends on what you want. You can go ahead and use a zip for this. You could go ahead and use a straight skirt for this. It's just how you cut it, really. I went ahead to leave the 1 inch space like I said before, and I also went ahead to pin down my loop onto the back where it is. I'll be adding a button to this later. This is what we have so far, and here is what I'm going to use for the bottom part of this. I'm going to be adding gathered stitches to this, but this right now, as you're looking at it, this is a 2.5 inch fabric, and I made it a length 23. So you can make yours longer or shorter depending on what you want. After I place the gather stitch, I'm going to go ahead and gather it up on the corset itself. I'm going to be adding a lining piece to this. That's for it to have some kind of volume, right? So I'm also going to be cutting it the same way I cut the main fabric. So this is also going to be 2.5 inch, or you can make it more and then gather it onto the main fabric. But the length of this is 19. The length of the lining piece was 19. Here I have a hard net. So basically what it's used for is to make the cloth puff, to give it some kind of puff. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that and also attach it to a lining piece. Now the lining piece, you know, now that we have two lining pieces, right? One for the main piece and one for the hard net. So the lining piece for the hard net is going to be a length 16, but it's also going to be a 2.5 yard of fabric as well. And then when you're going to go ahead and attach the hard net, you're going to come down, measure this, you're going to come down by 2, and from the bottom part you're going to go up by 3. So when I did that maths, my hard net turned out to be 11 inches. So when you are going ahead to attach it onto the when you're going to go ahead and attach it onto the lining piece for which it's supposed to be for, you just keep in mind that you're supposed to go down by 2 inches and you're supposed to go from the bottom part up by 3 inches, and you just go ahead and fold it like this. After which I'm going to attach all together and attach it to the upper part of my dress. That brings us to the end of the making of this dress. I actually loved the process of making it because, in case nobody knows, this is the second corset that I'm making so far, and I love how it came out. I love the process of the learning and the patience and the mistakes and everything that went with it. So yeah, that is the end. I hope you try this out for yourself. I hope you enjoyed the process of making yours as much as I enjoyed the process of making mine. I hope yours comes out really wonderful. With that being said, y'all, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when I post a new video. Don't forget to love yourself because I love you. Have a beautiful day or night, whichever it is you live for. Bye.